Cirrikan, also known by titles such as the Technomancer or the Artificer, is considered to be one of the most useful of the Necron cryptechs, with his rare inventive mind, logistical mastery and technological acumen comparatively greater than most cryptechs. In ancient times, Cirrikan was a Necrontyr cryptech of the Ogdobek dynasty, a dynasty known for their technical mastery. Utilizing the constructs that had alleviated to a minor degree the miserable lives of his people, Cirrikan pushed his pursuits of technological research to new heights. His talent grew in subtlety, exploring new techniques for advancing the properties of necrodermis and its fabrication, as well as mapping the path of sentience, a record of the numerous technological routes which lead to synthetic sentience. As he grew in age, he prevented the degradation of his mind with complex cybernetics of his own design. His reputation was not one of proud declaration, but rather a quiet statement of inherent importance of the incredible think tank that was the Cryptech conclaves. When Cirrikan was of great age, even by Necrontyr standards, Illumina Xeris took a keen interest in the Technomancer's research, believing it key to his own research into biotransference. Like many of his kind, he welcomed the process of biotransference and took a personal hand in designing and creating his own necrodermis body, further refining the process that would preserve as much of his essence as possible, in addition to granting him capabilities that potentially exceeded those of his fellow cryptechs. Due to his involvement, he was able to preserve the bulk of his living energies in his necrodermis body. However, even though he was able to preserve who he was to perfection, his inability to feel as he once did resulted in him becoming just as cold as the rest of his kind. Now able to flawlessly and instantly access his extensive knowledge, Cirrikan sought to act out his greatest technological ambitions, displaying a level of quote-unquote enthusiasm that took many a noble aback. His skill made him highly valued among numerous noble courts. Among his skills was the ability to fabricate artifacts of incredible power. His work became the forefront of Necron technology and grabbed the attention of the exclusive cryptech group known as the Technomandrites. It was his skill as a Technomancer, and now as one of the Technomandrites, that further grabbed the attention of Catan, such as Magladroth, the Void Dragon, who commissioned him and his fellow Technomandrites to develop what became known as the Cadian Pylons, and Niadrazatha, the Burning One, who commissioned them to help develop the Dolmen Gates. It was during this time that the Technomancer looked over his race, and from the depths of his machine body he felt a distant echo of sorrow for what had become of them. When Zarek, the last of the Silent Kings, readied his forces to rebel against the Catan, most of the cryptechs were commissioned in secret to generate ways to shatter them and contain their shards. Cirrikan was among them. When the Catan were either driven off or shattered, Cirrikan helped reconfigure many of the tomb worlds with stasis chambers, seeing to their long-term maintenance. Shortly before all the Necrons went to sleep, Cirrikan took the Silent King's desire to restore his people to life to heart, and modified the Canoptech spiders, charged with maintaining his isolated research outpost with an algorithm pushing their adaptive subroutines even further than was typical. Little did the cryptech know that this small adaptation would have larger implications when he would finally emerge from his slumber. Wargear. Necrodermis. Like all Necrons, Cirrikan's body is composed of living metal called necrodermis, which allows him to self-repair even catastrophic amounts of damage. However, due to his involvement in his body's creation, it is more complex by several orders of magnitude to handle the numerous demands of his role in Necron society. Canoptech leeches. Understanding that even the most powerful of technologies will corrode over time if not properly maintained, the cryptech directly integrated custom-designed Canoptech leeches onto his body to both maintain and adapt his body as needed. This direct integration results in a self-maintenance and repair system that far outstrips the capabilities of artifacts such as the phylactery. Veil of Darkness. A Veil of Darkness is a device of Necron techno-sorcery that can summon dark energies which twist and billow about the bearer like a ghostly cloak blown by an ethereal breeze, almost akin to a billowing sheet of tangible shadow that envelops the bearer and his allies. When the darkness ebbs, the enshrouded bearer and those Necrons nearby will have disappeared, only to rematerialize mysteriously some distance away on the battlefield later. This allows the bearer of Veil of Darkness to swiftly redeploy himself and his fellow Necrons into unexpected positions from which to better destroy the enemy, a tactical advantage that few others can afford. Veils of Darkness are typically only carried by Necron Lords and Cryptic Psychomancers, but as he likes to work undisturbed by other races, Cirrikan integrated one into his own robes. Fabrication Hand Array. Another product of the Cryptic's extensive knowledge and in-depth understanding of Necron techno-sorcery, the Fabrication Hand Array equips Cirrikan's 4 arms with energy tools of great power and precision, allowing the Cryptic to reforge matter from the quantum level to suit his purposes or those of the nobility that made a deal with them. Nobility values precious war gear like the Staff of Light, War Scythe or the Resurrection Orb, but so great are Cirrikan's fabrication abilities that he could manufacture such valued artifacts with little effort. Staff of Creation. The pinnacle of Cirrikan's abilities, the Staff of Creation grants the Cryptic the ability to manipulate matter on an awe-inspiring scale. The Cryptic has often stated that the famous artifact, the Orb of Eternity, is a pale imitation of his staff. Calling upon the numerous forces of the Materium, the staff can either manipulate these forces to enact its incredible feats of construction or repair, or to use those forces to scan objects from afar, regardless of their technological state. Due to the subtle way the staff manipulates the forces around it, it is one of the few Cryptic staffs that has the ability to duplicate the functions of other Cryptic staves. The few occasions where he had to call upon the full capabilities of his staff was when he was working on projects like the Cadian Pylons or developing Dolmen Gates.